Title: The Shocking Plea. It was a crisp autumn evening in Kansas City, the air filled with the sounds of laughter and the distant drum of anticipation as the crowd buzzed for the Chiefs game. Travis Kelce, the charismatic tight end, had just finished a thrilling practice and was preparing for another high-stakes matchup. He was riding high on the success of the season and the excitement surrounding his new relationship with Taylor Swift, the pop superstar whose concerts had captivated millions. However, that evening, Travis felt a nagging unease as he headed home. It wasn't just the pressure of the game, it was the whirlwind of media attention surrounding their relationship. Taylor, who had always seemed unfazed by the spotlight, had been quieter than usual, and he sensed something was on her mind. When he arrived at his apartment, the atmosphere was different. Taylor was sitting on the couch, a cup of tea in her hands, her expression thoughtful and serious. Travis could tell this wasn't just a casual chat. It felt monumental. "Hey, T," he greeted her, trying to match her somber mood with a playful grin. "What's up?" She looked up at him, her blue eyes filled with a mix of determination and vulnerability. "Travis, we need to talk," she said, her voice steady. Travis's heart raced as he took a seat across from her. "Sure, what's going on?" After a moment of silence, Taylor leaned forward, her hands clasped together. "I've been thinking about our future," she began. "You know how crazy our lives are right now, right? The games, the tours, the constant attention from the media." Travis nodded, the weight of her words settling in. "Yeah, it's a lot. But we're handling it, aren't we?" "Sort of," she replied, a hint of sadness in her tone. "But I want to make sure we're both on the same page. I love you, Travis, but I need to know if you're ready for what that means." His brow furrowed in confusion. "What do you mean?" Taylor took a deep breath. "I want to build a life together. I want to start thinking about our future, maybe even a family someday. But with our lives being so chaotic, I'm worried about how we make that work." Travis sat back, his mind racing. He had always envisioned a future filled with success, but the idea of family had seemed distant, overshadowed by the demands of his career. "Wow, Taylor, that's a lot to take in," he stammered, feeling utterly dumbfounded. "I know it sounds overwhelming," she said gently, "but I want to be honest about what I want. I'm not looking to rush things, but I need to know if you're in this with me." Travis swallowed hard, his heart pounding. He had never expected a conversation like this. Not now. "I love you, Taylor. You know that, right?" He paused, grappling with his thoughts. "But starting a family? That feels like a huge leap." Taylor's expression softened, and she reached for his hand. "I get that. I'm not trying to put pressure on you. I just want to know if we're headed in the same direction." He looked into her eyes, searching for clarity. "I want to be with you, but I need time to figure out how that looks. I don't want to let you down, especially if we're talking about something as serious as this." A small smile broke through her seriousness. "I don't want to rush you. Just promise me you'll think about it. We're a team, and I want to build something together." Travis nodded, feeling a mix of gratitude and fear. "Yeah, I'll think about it. I just need to wrap my head around everything." He squeezed her hand, trying to convey the depth of his feelings. As they sat together in the warm glow of the living room, the weight of the conversation lingered in the air. Travis knew that their journey was just beginning, filled with unknowns and challenges. But he also knew that with Taylor by his side, they could navigate whatever came next together. The next day, as he stepped onto the field, the cheers of the crowd echoed in his ears. But all he could think about was Taylor's plea. He played with passion, fueled not just by the game, but by a newfound determination to make their future bright. For the first time, he envisioned a life beyond the field, a life that included love, commitment, and perhaps a family. As he caught the winning touchdown that night, he felt a surge of excitement, not just for the game, but for the possibilities that lay ahead. With Taylor, he knew they could tackle anything, and together, they were ready to take on the future. One unexpected title. The Plea that stopped time. Travis Kelce stood in the center of Arrowhead Stadium, the roar of the crowd still echoing in his ears after another thrilling game. As he peeled off his pads, he couldn't shake the buzz of adrenaline that coursed through him. The Kansas City Chiefs had just secured another win, but his mind was elsewhere. He glanced at his phone, half expecting a text from Taylor Swift. Their relationship had been the talk of the town, and every game day had taken on a new meaning with her cheering from the stands. Taylor had become an integral part of his life, Yet he couldn't help but feel a sense of impending pressure looming over them. Later that evening, Travis and Taylor settled into his apartment. The walls were adorned with memorabilia from his career. But tonight, the trophies felt weightless compared to the tension in the air. As they sat together on the couch, the flickering lights from the TV cast shadows on their faces. "Travis, can we talk?" Taylor's voice was soft, but carried an intensity that made his heart race. He turned to face her, noticing the serious look in her eyes. "Sure, what's up?" he replied, trying to keep his tone light, but he felt a knot forming in his stomach. Taylor took a deep breath, her expression a mix of determination and vulnerability. "I've been thinking a lot about us, about what this relationship means for our future." Travis nodded, his pulse quickening. He had sensed this conversation brewing, but hearing it out loud was different. "Yeah, I've been thinking too. It's a lot, you know? The media, the schedules, it's all pretty intense." "Exactly," she exclaimed, leaning forward. "But I don't want to let the pressure get to us. I love what we have, and I want it to grow. But that means we need to make some changes." "Changes?" he echoed, unsure of where this was heading. "Yes, I want us to be open about our lives, to share what we're going through without the world's opinions weighing us down. I want to take a step back from the public eye, at least for a little while," she pleaded, her eyes searching his. Travis felt the weight of her words. He had always admired Taylor's ability to command the stage, her confidence unwavering, but the thought of her stepping back felt foreign. "Are you saying you want to, like, hide away?" he asked, trying to process. "No, not hide. I want to protect what we have. I'm tired of everything we do being dissected by the media. I want to build a future with you. But I need to know you're in this too," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. Travis was dumbfounded. He had never imagined Taylor would want to step back from the limelight, especially with her career skyrocketing. The reality of her plea struck him like a lightning bolt. "You're serious?" "Absolutely," she replied, her voice steady. "I want a relationship where we can grow without the distractions. I want to plan a future that feels like ours, not something that's constantly on display." Silence enveloped the room. Travis's mind raced, grappling with the implications. He thought about the way they'd connected over late-night talks, the laughter shared in quiet moments, and how different their lives were yet so beautifully intertwined. "I don't know what that looks like for me," he admitted finally. "This life, football, the spotlight, it's what I've always known. But you're right. I don't want to lose what we have because of it." Taylor reached for his hand, her grip firm and reassuring. "I don't want you to change who you are. I just want us to find a balance that works for both of us. We can still support each other. We just have to do it differently." Travis looked into her eyes, seeing the sincerity reflected back at him. He had never considered stepping away from the constant chaos, but if it meant building a future with Taylor, perhaps it was worth exploring. "Okay," he said slowly. "Let's figure this out together. I want to make this work." A smile broke across Taylor's face, the tension lifting from the room like a heavy fog. "Really? You mean it?" "Yeah, I mean it. Let's take the time to figure out what this future looks like. Just us," he said, feeling the warmth of her presence enveloping him. They sat together, fingers intertwined, lost in a moment of shared understanding. As the stadium lights flickered in the distance, both Travis and Taylor felt a renewed sense of hope for what lay ahead, a partnership that could thrive amidst the noise of their worlds, a future built on love, trust, and title. The heart of the game. Travis Kelce was riding high after another exhilarating game, his mind buzzing with adrenaline and the cheers of the crowd still echoing in his ears. As he entered the dimly lit locker room, he felt a rush of excitement, not just from the win, but from the thought of seeing Taylor Swift, his girlfriend and one of the world's biggest pop stars. Their relationship had been a whirlwind, attracting attention from fans and media alike. After the game, Travis hurried to change, his heart racing as he thought about their evening together. They had plans to celebrate, but when he saw Taylor waiting for him, her expression was serious, a stark contrast to the playful woman he adored. "Hey, babe, great game today," Travis greeted her, flashing his trademark grin. But Taylor didn't smile back. Instead, she took a deep breath, her eyes searching his. "Travis, we need to talk." His smile faded. Okay, what's up?" They stepped outside, where the night air was cool and crisp. The stadium lights glowed in the distance, and Travis could hear the faint sounds of celebration continuing inside. But his attention was entirely on Taylor. "I've been thinking a lot about us," she began, her voice steady but soft. "About our future future together. Travis's heart raced, anticipation flooding through him. Yeah, I've been thinking about it too. I love being with you, Tay. You know that. Taylor nodded, but her expression remained serious. I know, and that's why this is so hard for me. My life is chaotic. Touring, press, constant attention, it's overwhelming. I love you, but I worry about what this all means for us. Travis felt a knot tighten in his stomach. Are you saying you want to break up? No, not at all, Taylor exclaimed, her eyes wide with disbelief. But I need to know that we can make this work. I can't keep dragging you into the spotlight like this. It's not fair to you. Travis was dumbfounded. He had never seen Taylor like this, vulnerable and unsure. Tay, I'm in this for the long haul. I want to be with you, no matter what. You make me happier than I've ever been. She stepped closer, her voice almost a whisper. Then we need to find a way to balance our lives. I don't want you to sacrifice your career for me, and I don't want to sacrifice mine for you. The weight of her words hung in the air, and Travis felt a mix of emotions: fear, love, and determination. I can handle it, Taylor. You've seen how I deal with pressure on the field. I can handle this too. Taylor's gaze softened, but Travis could still see the uncertainty lurking in her eyes. It's not just pressure, Travis. It's our lives. I want to make music, and you want to play football. Can we really support each other when our careers pull us in different directions? Travis took a moment, gathering his thoughts. What if we set boundaries? We can carve out time for each other, away from the cameras and the noise. We can be normal, just for a little while. Taylor considered his words, and slowly, a small smile broke through her apprehension. I'd love that. I miss the quiet moments with you, away from everything. They stood there in silence, their breaths mingling in the cool night air, the weight of their conversation hanging between them. Finally, Travis reached out, taking her hands in his. Then let's promise to fight for us, whatever it takes. We're a team, right? Right, Taylor agreed, her smile growing brighter. We're a team. As they embraced, the world around them faded. In that moment, Travis knew that love, like football, required strategy, resilience, and a commitment to navigate the challenges together. They would face whatever came next, both the cheers and the chaos side.